Hey, what's up guys, it's Zoko with another New World video. Today I want to go over an Azoth water farm you can use to get a really nice amount of gold for yourself, probably earning up to and even over 1k from a single run of 30 to 45 minutes. Or perhaps you want to use it to make some tier 5 healing potions, which are also doing quite well lately thanks to Outpost Rush. Whatever the case is, this route is largely accessible to a lot of players, despite the zone being one of the higher end ones. You don't necessarily need to be level capped to get the most of this route. I will mention the spots to be careful around though. Now this isn't going to be a real long video, but if you found it helpful at all, leaving a like goes a long way in helping it get promoted. I would really appreciate that. Alright, so we are starting off in Reekwater, which for starters can be a pain to get here in the first place. I remember I actually died during my first trek here, and that sucked a lot. But whenever you do get here and you're ready to start the route, head out the east side of the town. Our first spring is just down the hill. There is one wolf in between that spring and the town, but it's pretty easy to see a ways off and avoid. From here, we largely just go around the swamp, working our way to the south, methodically trying to go to each Azoth spring that you see on the resource map. There is one small spot of enemies a bit south to be wary of, but after that, again, just continue on south until we get to this waterfall next to the group zone in the south. This zone is the amphitheater arena. Now, we aren't going into that zone. It's full of some badass mobs. We are just staying on the north side of it, going along the coast and the water line, and just picking up a few more springs before we have to wade across to the east side of the swamp. I will warn you, it can be a little tricky the first time you wade across the swamp. I suggest going north to this little island first because it's just closer to get to the east side. I think if you end up crossing on the south side, you actually drown. I'm not 100% sure on that. I didn't really try. It just seemed a little bit on the far side for me. You can't really walk around this rock. Just go north, be sure. It's way easier. But once over here, you need to be just mindful of wolves, pretty much. Wolves and boars, actually. So if you're a little squishier or a lower level for the zone, exercise some increased caution in the area. I did find in my first few runs of this route, some of these springs can be a bit hard to see. So if you're new to the route, pay some real close attention to a resource map like the one at New World Fans, and that should really help you on your way to learning. Also, something else to be aware of, I tend to find of all the springs on this route that might be tapped, the springs in this part of the route are most likely to have been used, which makes sense because this is where the Reekwater PvP missions send us. So if you like running around while flagged, be mindful of this area in that regard as well. Now, from where we came ashore, we just work our way north through the swamp. Once you get on the north side, you get near a road and you end up having a choice. If you're on the squishier side and struggle with the mobs in this area, I suggest heading back to town. It's not too bad of a run at all, just turn west on the road and it's practically a straight shot there. You're probably at around 110 or maybe 120 Azoth water at this point, which is still a pretty decent haul to be honest. Now, if you're feeling froggy, head a bit southeast. You'll hit a landmark with some enemies around level 63. This is why I suggested the lower levels head back, but if you can carve your way through this spot, heading north will get you a few more springs hopefully. Afterwards, you can head north to the Spirit Shrine if you want to spend some Azoth, or maybe you decide to save it and just run back to town yourself. You don't make enough Azoth on this run to really make up for what's spent on traveling, though that's completely dependent on how much time you spend at the landmark. That's up to you entirely. Now, this whole run takes like 30 to 45 minutes and can easily bring in over 150 Azoth water. I also did this run in heavy armor, so no light armor roll benefits for me at all. But anyways, the full potential amount of Azoth water is likely much higher than 150. During the runs I've done at busier times in the day, I've come up dry on at least 7 or 8 springs and still finished with over 150 Azoth water. So you could pretty easily net around 200 or so, I would think. Now, how much does all of this come out to in the end? Now, obviously, all of these price checks are coming from my specific server. Obviously, this is going to change depending on where you are, but let me know how different things are in the comments, please. I'm really interested to know how other servers are doing. The Azoth water itself comes out to 990 gold revenue if 150 water is posted at 6.6 gold per water. Again, obviously, this will fluctuate depending on both settlements and server, so make sure you use that drop down menu to find a good location to sell. You don't want a totally dead location like some random outpost up north. A good strategy I try and use is putting this up at a settlement with a tier 5 arcane repository. This is most likely the level of crafter that will be purchasing this item. Now, if I want to craft the potions myself, and you just get a bit more bang for your buck, 150 potions comes out to 1,290 gold. Obviously, there are other materials in play here, so that will play a factor in your profit margin for sure. Also, keep in mind that you will probably proc some extra potions when making this amount, so that will definitely help your total revenue amount for sure. Please don't forget to drop a like and leave a comment to help promote this video. Subscribe if you're interested in more New World content from yours truly. Swing by my Twitch channel if you get a chance. I'm Zoko, and I'll see you in Eternum.